Good afternoon, welcome back, and I'm now going to talk about SCIP database and its implications on substances in article. So the topics which will be covered in today's presentation will be introduction to SCIP, what are the objectives and milestone of this SCIP database, the basis of SCIP notification, what are the notification requirements and obligations, the users of the database, the SCIP database, the information requirements, the SCIP prototype, and some take-home points. So SCIP stands for Substances of Concern in Articles as such or in complex objects or products. So this is a short form prepared by European Chemical Agency. This is established under the Waste Framework Directive, which is a different regulation which is managed by European Chemical Agency, and it mainly talks about the articles. So article, which is defined as a substance, any object which has a defined shape, which is more important than its chemical compositional details. It's called as articles, which could be brakes or the wheels. It could be a complex articles like bikes or car. Here I have just tried to share an example of different articles which are individually as an article, and when they are put together as a bike, then it constitutes as a complex article. So all these articles, if they have substances of very high concern, HVHC, which is also called as a candidate list for authorization within the European REACH regulation, needs to do the notification of the substances of very high concern which are going into the European, which is going into the article to directly to the European Union. So this needs to be notified to the database, which is again managed by the European Chemical Agency. And who is going to use this database? So basically, the main objective is to support the circular economy, prevent the waste being generated, and reduce hazard substances in materials and products. The SCIP database ensures that the information in articles containing candidate list substance or the HVHC substance, which is available throughout the whole life cycle of the product and material, including at the wastage, and the information in the database will be made available to the waste operators and the consumers. So the basic objective is that this SCIP database will have the information which will be published on the European Chemical Agency site, where the consumers as well as the waste operator will come to know what all articles which are going to come into European Union, which article contains the substances of very high concern, and if the article contains substances of very high concern, then obviously waste operator needs to take a special precaution while handling such articles when it reaches to the waste sites. It also gives an opportunity for the consumers to look at the article if it has a substance of very high concern, and then it can pressurize the supplier to search for an alternative, because consumer may not like to choose the article which has substances of very high concern. So it has been launched in autumn 2019 at the workshop at ECA, and the first SCIP database prototype has been launched on 17 Feb 2020. So there is currently the prototype which is available, and the actual SCIP database will be released from October 2020. They haven't announced the date as of now, but the first release of SCIP database is expected October 2020. And the obligation for doing the notification will start from 5th Jan 2021. So any article which contains substances of very high concern, which is going into European market, they have to do the SCIP database notification before 5th Jan 2021. It also means that the article which is going to European Union after 5th Jan has to be a notified article if it has a substances of very high concern. So any article supplier basically needs to do the preliminary assessment whether its article contains substances of very high concern or not. So the basis of SCIP notification is the article means an object which during the production is given a special shape, surface, or design, which determines its function to the greater degree than does its chemical composition. So this is the definition of article, and within Article 33 of the REACH regulation, it is the duty of an article manufacturer to communicate the information on substances in article. So as per this article, as per Article 33 of the REACH regulation, any article which is going into European Union, if it has the substances of very high concern in the concentration above 0.1% weight by weight, then they have to give the sufficient information about the substances in HVHC present in article to the article user or the consumer or the waste operator. Whereas if the article then consumer might request to replace the substances of very high concern which is present into the article more than 0.1% weight by weight. So from Article 33, the SKIP notification has been formed by the European Chemical Agency, and they are collecting the information about the articles which is having substances of very high concern. So obviously there is a notification obligation. So SKIP notification covers all articles which are placed into the European market containing the substances of very high concern. And it has to be more than 0.1% weight by weight, irrespective of the total tonnage of that HVHC which is going with the total articles to the European Union. And this notification will obviously start from 5th January 2021. So who can do the notification process is basically the REACH being the European Union's regulation. Obviously, it has the European producer and assemblers responsibility, as well as the European Union's importers responsibility, where also the distributors of articles. And there are other actors in supply chain placing the articles on the market or assembler. It also allows third parties to submit the data on your company's behalf based on the intra-party arrangement within the foreign user concept. It does not directly talk about the article supplier from the non-European area, but yes, there are member states which are forcing within the confidential business information, the non-European suppliers will also be able to do the notification within the SKIP database within the provision of foreign user concept. The retailers, other supply chain actors supplying articles directly or exclusively to consumers does not need to do the SKIP notification. They don't have direct obligation for doing the SKIP notification. It is the primary responsibility of the producer, assembler, importers, or distributors of those articles within the European Union. Who will be the user of the database? The primary user of the database will be obviously the waste treatment operators and the consumers. And this database will obviously increase the knowledge about the substances of very high concern which are already used into the articles. So this will ultimately help waste operator to improve their waste separation and recycling process. And also it will give a choice to the consumer to choose which product they want to buy, whether they want to go for an HVHC containing product or not. And then eventually it will increase the pressure on the supplier, and the member state authorities will also have the database where they will have a clear understanding of the products containing the substances of very high concern, so that they can further decide upon the waste reduction and the treatment policies at national level. So with the SKIP notification, it allows all parties to submit the data on your company's behalf based on the intra-party arrangements, as I told before, within the concept of foreign user. They have, implemented two different type of notification within SKIP notification, which is also called as simplified notification or referencing notification. So simplified notification, it can be done for an article which is not changed. The duty holder can build from the simplified notification referring to the data already submitted by the supplier who has done the SKIP notification. And there is also a provision for referencing in an article. If the article is a complex object, then obviously the duty holder can prefer to submit the data without re-entering it using the number, or just referring to the SKIP notification done by the supplier of that article which is going into the complex object. There has been analyzing how to make the data available to the waste operators and consumers, and the discussion is still ongoing. It has not yet been finalized, but the prototype is on and everybody is using the database. There has been many queries which are coming up. And now in my next slides, I'll just try to cover what exactly simplified notification means. So basic principle of simplified notification will be applicable for the product which is received. It has to be equal to the product which is supplied. So if, for example, illegal entity 1 produces or imports a bicycle A, for which he has done the skip notification according to Article 33(1), because his bicycle has a component which has substances of very high concern, and same bicycle he is giving to the distributor legal entity 2 and legal entity 3. So distributor 2 and 3 can do the simplified notification because they can refer to the data which has been submitted by the legal entity 1 or the producer. So simplified notification will be done by the legal entity LE2 and LE3 distributor, and the producer has to do the complete notification because he is the one who is first introducing that article with the substances in article present in, substances of very high concern present into that article. So for simplified notification, there is no special dossier needed. It's only the number that which will be needed from the legal entity 1 or the producer, and they can do the simplified notification. And the distributor link to the notification of the supplier and does not need to submit updates. So basically, once the linking has been done by the distributor, which they got it from the producer, then obviously they need not to update their notification. It is the primary responsibility of the producer to keep on updating the skip notification because HVHC's list is growing. So HVHC list always increases twice in a year. So there has been more substances which has been added to the substances of very high concern twice in a year. So it is important that this notification needs to be updated from time to time for the presence of substances of very high concern into the article. So today your article may not have the substances of very high concern, but you never know the new chemical which will be added at a later date might have the possibility that your raw material may be included into HVHC, which eventually will be added into your article. So the producer has to keep a track, and the skip notification has to be keep up to date based on the HVHC list revised from European Chemical Agency from time to time. There has been a discussion which is ongoing at the European Chemicals Agency level. There is an IT group. This slide I have taken from the recent minutes of meeting from the Skip database IT tools, where the grouping and hierarchy is currently ongoing. So can the identical or quasi-identical articles as such or the complex object can submit one notification? Can there be a possibility that the grouping of notification can be done? Say, for example, an O-ring or a smartphone. The O-ring may have different shapes, but if it has an HVHC and if it has the same raw material, can those notifications can be grouped together? The discussion is ongoing. Nothing has been finalized, but yes, there could be a possibility. There is also a discussion ongoing at how many layers of components and the subcomponents of a complex object have to be reported in order to allow the identification and location of the article containing the candidate list substance. Say for example, when I'm talking about the O-ring, which is also present in water pump and in engine, that engine is going into the complex object as a motor car, then it's a complex situation for doing the notification, and the hierarchy needs to be defined at what level, till what level the car manufacturer has to check for all components, or at what component level he has to do for the skip notification database. For here I'm just trying to share an example of bicycle which has a handlebar grip and a wheel and tire and inner tube. These are the different components of that particular complex object, and inner tube or the tire may have HVHC. So if tire or inner tube level HVHC notification or the skip notification has been done, then bicycle supplier need not to do the notification. He can just refer to the notification which has been done by the supplier of the components of the complex article. But the discussion is ongoing at the European Chemical Agencies level, and there has been some proposals which has been given by the agency, but final information will be available in October 2020 when the skip notification database will be launched officially. So what are the different information requirements? So basically there are two types of information requirement within the skip notification. First is the technical data and second is the administrative data. The intercept between these two data is the article information. So you have to give the administrative data information for the article, which is going into the skip notification. The legal entity details, I mean, who is going to do the notification. When we are talking about the technical information about the article, then we have to go down to the concern element level, and then we have to also identify what kind of substances of area concern present into that concern element, which is present into the article. So this is generic information requirements. I'll speak about more details in my next slides. So when we talk about information requirements, the article identification is the primary information. Here you can see I have highlighted the slide with 3 different colors. So red color information is the mandatory information without which the submission will fail. The yellow color information is required for the successful submission. In absence of that information, agency may come back for additional information. And black color information, I mean, is an optional information, whether you want to give it or not, it's not mandatory. So when we are talking about the article identification related information, it talks about the article name as a primary important information, and then primary article identifier. It could be a EAN number, GTN number, catalog number, or part number. This primary article identifier or the EAN number can be easily generated within the skip notification system. So there is an online system wherein you can also generate the primary article number and article identifier for your article if you don't have that, or you can refer to your suppliers whatever information they have used as an identifier for that particular component. And then our article category is the mandatory information. So article category code number has to be given, and the production in in the EU. So if the production is within EU, then additional information needs to be given about the production details. Then obviously you can also share the picture, dimension, color, weight of the article, which will come as a article identification related information. Then the information requirement for the safe use instruction. So safe use instructions is again not exactly the mandatory, but it is required information. So there are 2 options to give the safe use instruction. Either you can provide the safe use instruction as a free text, or you can select no need to provide safe use instruction information beyond the identification of the candidate list substance, because that article is very small and it cannot have further safe use instruction while submitting the skip notification. And then if you have disassembling instructions for the complex articles, then yes, that is also mandatory to give the disassembling instruction, so that waste operators will have this information while handling reuse and recycle of that particular article. When we are talking about the complex object components, so here I have just tried to share an example about the complex object 1, which has article A, B, and article F. So within this complex object, article B, which contains an HVHC. So article B has to give the information, again highlighted in the box: identifier, article name, primary article identifier, article category, production in EU, and safe use instruction, which is very mandatory. So the complex object A has been disassembled till article B level, which has an HVHC present into it, and that notification needs to be done to the skip database. Obviously, the information requirement for the concern elements, you have to tell what is the candidate list of substances you are referring, and the concentration level. What is the concentration of that particular substances of very high concern is present? What is the material category or the mixture category? There is a European Union product categorization system which you have to refer for giving the mixture category related information while submitting the skip database notification. This slide is slightly, I mean, it has very small fonts, but I'll try to explain. My next slides will have the bifurcations of this slide. So basically, this is article related information. This is the HVHC substance related information, and whole information will be combined together, will go to the European Chemical Agency for the submission portal, where you receive the submission information and the skip notification number for your article. So again, it's article name that you have to give, and the production in EU details as such. but you can also give the height, length, width, diameter, density, weight, volume, color, etc. about the article within the identifier. You can give other names, other article identifiers, article category codes, article category name. Then you can also upload the picture about the article. The red fields which I have highlighted is mandatory to give, and then you have to give the safe use instruction, disassembly instruction, and then the candidate list details. You have to tell like which HVAC list you are referring, whether you are referring to the June 2020 list or you are referring to Jan 2020 HVAC list. So you have to tell the version of HVAC and the name of the HVAC substance which is present into your article, because HVAC list is getting updated in every 6 months period. So you have to keep a track of HVAC list and keep a track of HVAC which has been newly added to the list, so that you know your product or the article does not contain the newly added HVAC. And if it contains HVAC, then obviously you need to tell what is the concentration, what is the material category, what is the mixture category, and then obviously the legal entity details. I mean, who is going to do the notification? I mean, the European legal entity name, its address, person details, based on which you will receive the skip notification number, submission number, and finally your dossier will go to the skip database link, which is on the ECHA website. And you will get final skip notification number, which you can add into the SDS of your article. I'm just trying to give a example. I'm repeating this example of the motor which has an engine, which has an O-ring, and this O-ring contains an HVAC in more than 0.1% weight by weight. So as an obligation of a O-ring supplier has to do the notification, and the engine manufacturer or the supplier and the complex article, the motor manufacturer, can either do the referencing or simplified notification, so that all primary responsibility lies with the O-ring supplier. This is an example of a O-ring dossier in the skip database information. So it has a brand name, it has a model name, it has a primary article ID, then it has characteristics details, the diameter, weight, and the picture of the O-ring. Then it has an article category as per the CNR TRIC code. The production is not into European Union, so it has been mentioned no. So there are no safe use instruction which can be given for this particular product. It has been based on the candidate list version January 2020, and it has the details about the HVAC substance which is present in more than 0.1% and less than 10% weight by weight into the article O-ring. So this is a example that I just want to share with you for the skip database notification information. So currently how the skip prototype works is basically you have to create an ECHA account. So you have to have a European legal entity to create an ECHA account, and then you can prepare a dossier, either an online Euclid system, or you can prepare it into the offline Euclid, and then you can create a data, you can validate. There is a validation assistant which is available in Euclid, and once the dossier is finalized, it can be further submitted to the skip prototype database using the ECHA account details. You will receive a submission number. After the submission has been validated, the final submission report will come with the skip notification number. So this is the generic flow for the skip prototype. Just to give you an add-on information which data will be published and how the CBI, the confidential business information within the skip notification will be treated. So following information will not be published within the skip notification is basically the identity of the submitter or the duty holder, component identifiers other than article name and category, and the skip numbers for simplified skip notification or referencing. So these are the only things which will be not published. Rest all other information which has been I have just shared in a pencil sharpener example. The red field is the responsibility on the confidentiality of the data reported under the fields will be made public, and it relies with the duty holder. So duty holder information will not be published, but all information which has been submitted with the skip, which will be published on ECHA website, so that the consumers will have this information as well as the waste operators will have this information. But how this information will be published, how they are going to club, or how they are going to do the grouping and hierarchy, within the skip notification. It is not yet been clarified. So currently there is only a prototype of the skip database which is available at the European Chemical Agency. But very soon, maybe in October 2020, the final skip database will be launched, and all the articles which are going into European market after 5th Jan 2021, if it has substances of area concern, they have to do the skip notification. So just as a skip database overview, it can be either prepared into bulk format or it can be into Euclid format. So there has to be a duty holder who has to create an ICA account, or it can be even prepared on the ICA Euclid cloud service. So they have to just prepare a dossier. This dossier will be validated. It will go to skip database. And then they will receive the skip notification number. This data will be further evaluated by the authorities and it will be made available to the waste operator as well as to the consumers. So consumers will obviously get some filtered information about the articles, but the waste operators will get maximum information so that they will be able to handle the whatever substances of very high concern which are coming into the European Union. So with this, I would just like to give some take-home messages for the skip notification. You have to first identify a key competent person within the organization to do this activity, or to identify the competent consultant who can help you out to compile this information. Know your portfolio of articles or the complex objects. Start collecting the information and start prepare an inventory about the substances which are going into your article. Get familiar with the skip database, starting with the prototype and all supporting material. Do the initial screening of the materials for HVHC presence. So irrespective your article contains HVHC or not, it is mandatory or it is obligatory for you to provide the information or to assess the information against the HVHC list. And if you identify your article contains HVHC, then you have to check what is the concentration of that article, whether it is more than 0.1% weight by weight or not. Prepare the information for submission and maintain the records. You have to keep maintaining the record because HVHC list is growing from time to time. So you have to keep a watch about the presence of HVHC in your article. With this, I thank you very much, all of you, for patiently listening to me. And please feel free to ask me any question related to skip database, and I'll try to answer all your questions. If not, we'll just come back to you with the summary of the questions after the event. Thank you very much.